You've decided to get divorced, but don't know how it works. There's a lot at stake, and mistakes could cost you and your family. In this episode, we'll help you understand the divorce process so you can confidently move forward with your life. The first thing to do is book a free case evaluation with us. Every case is different, and we want to know as much about you as possible. We'll sit down with you and analyze where you are and where you want to go. You're in the driver's seat. Together, we'll work to get you everything you deserve. Once we get some initial information, we'll file the papers with the court. After that, your spouse gets served with those papers by a sheriff or constable. That officially puts them on notice that your divorce has been filed. They then have 20 days to file an answer to our complaint. One of the next things we'll want to do is to get some temporary orders in place. Because the divorce process takes so long, you need to have protection from the court until the divorce is final. The court can issue temporary orders forcing your spouse to move out, establishing child custody, and imposing spousal and child support, among other things. These orders help you live your life during your divorce and give you a leg up when it comes to the final decree. Before we get further into the process, I just want to let you know that we've put together a checklist and a video mini course about the 7 most important things you should be thinking about if you're considering a divorce in Massachusetts. Please visit affordlaw.org/checklist to get this important information. Once the divorce paperwork is filed, we are now in the discovery phase. Discovery is basically the exchange of information between you and your spouse. The whole idea of discovery is to get everything out in the open. We don't want any surprises. Much of the information we're seeking is financial based. We want to make sure we know everything about your spouse's money, income, investments, and so forth. We want to make sure you'll be getting everything you're entitled to, so this information is critical. All throughout the divorce process, we're negotiating with your spouse's attorney. It's best to come to an agreement with the other side if possible. That way, you have more control over the outcome rather than leaving it to a judge to make important decisions about your life. We keep you informed all along the way about the offers or anything else that is suggested by your spouse. It's always up to you whether you agree to the terms of your divorce during negotiations. The next big step in the divorce process is a pre-trial conference. Prior to the conference, both parties and their attorneys must meet. From that meeting, a pre-trial conference memo must be written, highlighting any progress that has been made along the way. The pre-trial conference takes place in court before a judge. The point of a pre-trial conference is to determine what issues can be agreed upon and what issues are still in dispute. If we can come to terms on everything, the judge can issue an order that day. If there are things that can't be resolved, a trial will be scheduled. If there are still unresolved issues after the pre-trial conference, a trial is held. Most cases settle prior to trial, but that's always an option. I have to warn you that trials take a lot of time, are emotionally draining, and expensive. They are held before a judge. There are no jury trials in divorce cases. Witnesses will be called, you and your spouse may testify, and ultimately the judge makes a ruling which is called a judgment Nisi. A judgment Nisi is a temporary judgment that is in place until the final judgment enters 90 days later. This so-called Nisi period is a waiting period. You can change your mind and reconcile with your spouse if you want to. It's also a chance to bring back issues before the judge if we discover, for example, your spouse was hiding assets. After the Nisi period, your final judgment enters without you doing anything else. For more information on Massachusetts divorce, please see our next video.